Elvis is here. A very good morning to you. Elvis Michia wana no pa me yamash me kakra but it's very important say yeshia. Yenshan komo na se afishia pa me hu.
Come beto here. Afiti say dey bibia ye kama.
Bibia ye kama na nkrofo eja ye hake.
Oh, I say Yankasa you put you on good practices. I be my Yankasa na obian to me hake. Because who put you on good practices, you can be safe. You understand? So there are so many things. I've been here, I've talked a lot, but there are so many things we have to do. Your password, how you have to change it regularly is part of it. Updating your systems, even your smartphone, you need to update it. This update doesn't come just for nothing. They come for you to get your devices secured. Sometimes people will look at, oh, I don't have internet, so I will not update, and then you cancel update. You are putting the system into what? Risk. So anybody can come in, both physically and then externally.
Se si anokra na aye hu kakra. Yetimi send you bibi ko click o ye obi atape click. Wa ko click obi ayi ama wawura o system abeye obone because enye nyame na na ye click. Inti no obi won ma wa send you mail bi no akobie pe na o menya ho kwan wa ho obi wo ho wa send you bibi ase si we bi ye to we for antivirus insam koso wo sha inti ma me wo fie menim se bi asabe bi a woni ma kenkan ti se ye ne mu bi ana se bi a won so na bi a wo kan a won ti ase pe obi a wo ti ase na won yemfa ma phone de ye de bedi dwa ye de be bibia ene phone no ye de sika ni na eguso enye emma obi ntwe sika ni na emfiri wo phone so because wentimi anye bibi ketewa bi a wasa wo ye sa wo se phone wo be use dia ene ye wasa wo hu sane ye use ni yie na aboa wo eyesa ade korona na wasa aboa wo no na eno a esan etwe wo ekowachi Elvis ne nkomo ne ye tie kroma ye kasa obi a haki obi a ya dwene na se fraud obi a fraud obi akogene sika obi a fraud obi akoyi sebio ebia ne mobile money obi a fraud obi sana na ya dwene eyeyen na nse advance ye kasa obi use internet dia haki obi a na chese sebio ebia the social media yibi waje efri nsem ana se wako ebia media outlets ni bi ne waje se si ya ne hu se nkrofo di wura nkrofo companies mu nkrofo di wura eye hospital mu omu di wura eye banks mu omu di wura eye institutions o ma set up se bi nkomo a kan ye kra se ebi etimi ya no ma sizi air condition a ewo building ni mu ni na hospital ni na o se majemade na o ma sizi air condition so obitimi sizi air condition dia na yes obetimi the gas bone kra ewure mu so
we will come to that. We'll talk a lot about it because it's serious. When the person gets in obetumi bibi or pebia.
Yendi kan enka hospital ene anope. Hospital die nyama bebri wo ho. Aside in Nro no ye ka hospital ani na ya dwen ye ne say Nro no moton wo ho. But machines ahodo ye adwuma wo ho. Sabi omusu hia upgrade ne updating ni na omu keep data ewo hospital a lot of people's information data ewo that's the main because kwa we patient ni we ya first na ye card me hospital say see me hospital ye card
good it is very good
enye card bi wodu onu mu a
hospital bebre enye card
ye card bi me hospital ye card internet na atwe din pa bibia wo detail. By the time I will do wo doctor hono ni ya forward information ni bibia wo.
I'm happy that you know.
Oh yes, me hospital me use card. Me new hospital card. Ni na yo move as automated.
It's automated.
Now you automated. Ebia wo obi hospital a work on that so use card but eboboba
that means it's coming.
Yes.
We'll get to a place all hospitals will be networked.
Yes. So how at the end of the hospital when it comes to a year, you know, one now can was some technology and the internet of things.
So cybersecurity in the hospital is very essential. I mean, now, as you are saying, most hospitals have gone automated. But you see, before you go automated, you must first put in place, cybersecurity methods and training and build the culture in the organization. You don't bring it afterwards.
Okay.
Now you see hospitals are there already, so we are now implementing the security on top of it. See, you go hospital, and from the OPD, they just key in your system, will take your temperature, and it goes to the system. You go to doctor or BBI, and then I set armor. That is best way of everything. But there is great risk. There are so many actions that healthcare must take to secure their system externally and internally. They're very important, especially they hold a lot of data. Into when you go to privacy is one of the key areas that hospital for healthcare in general must take into consideration. When I say healthcare, I'm talking about the hospital itself, the insurance, health insurance, and then any business associate, third parties around those supplying the devices to them. These are all in the same sector. Okay, so if you go to the hospital, these things are there, and one of the major things is data of patients, which we call the protected health information. Okay, for everybody. These things need to be protected. So there is a framework or a compliance that the hospital needs to take, and this is called HIPAA. Okay, the HIPAA Act. That's Health Insurance Portability and Availability Act. This act that covers every hospital. I will have to say the whole world. You must go through their rules. Some of the rules is to secure data of what? Patients on your system. Now, this data is more costly now than even credit card sales underground in the dark web. Hospital data. Because one, you are going to get details of the person. If he's using credit cards or any method of payment, you have it there. His name, his SSID or Ghana card number. They are all in there. Yes.
Hospital details.
Yeah. And you're very important to the criminal or the cyber attacker. Because when you say no, the underground, that one will sell about $100. Comparing it to credit card, sales, which will be $50. So now people are going into the healthcare industry. If you Google now, you see a number of healthcare that has experiences attacked in America and some European countries. And these are viruses causing this problem. I'll talk about it when we come there. Something called the ransomware. You see, the ransomware takes over the system and then it demands money. It encrypts every details on your machine, including the details of patients. And when this occurs, patients can never go through the process. Operations are stacked because your information cannot be traced. Let's say operations will also be stacked because the devices cannot work. Because it also sees the devices from working. So you see that death has also caused in this issue I'm talking about. People have died in the course of process.
So they just duck every information and everything.
Yes. And as I said, the devices in the hospital, these are Internet of Things devices. You understand? They are small devices, but they communicate through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Internet to be able to work. And I told you there's a site called Showdown. If you go and search devices like that, you see a lot of devices pointing to the IP addresses. And this makes it very cheap for the hacker to start operating.
Hey, ain't you know, their main innocent is a hospital. Organization by organization.
Yes.
Hospital. Diana was like you said. We see hospital every and so no Babbie software near mu niyama technology ni na bamu omo connect ebi o start ye na okay but e drew time e was say omo update and omo upgrade omo friend saying systems no na omo nya eno e na kofa ba na because sabio yentimi nkase ye use Wi-Fi yentimi nkase ye use we eno na sesi ayede ye nyama bebre e wo hospital ho. So how do we protect ourselves as sesi an hospital crowd dey mentimi nka individual because wo nipa na wo yare no wo de wo so wako nti wo information na de akwakoma now eye hospital na said yes was so protect wo any information na wo de amane sesi an ye dan hospital no e na hospitals betimi aye so that our it will not compromise your information na ye de amom obi wo wa sebe yare bi wo ne ho sebe o na adwuma kora po no ontimi disclose sa yare ne kora enkyere na adwuma yare bi wo ne ho hospital de wo kwa wontimi fa wo yare nsie nti waka because o pay yare sa ebe wie chenye yare bi asabi o bi epie ya ebe se na adwuma ebe se na bi bebre na wo kan se wo mo haki na eche se ekoto abonefo nsem a na eno na nipa no ba be start ya be blackmail you no no
any major thing I bet you blackmail you it enu no say the hospital must take prudent measures to secure themselves. One, it starts from the staff. You understand? There should be consistent training, what we say monthly or quarterly training, to instill cybersecurity, safeguard ideas in their mind, so that they know how to protect and be able to see that no, there's an attack coming. One, as you said, updating of the devices. These are crucial. But one thing is that most of those devices, manufacturers are not in existence. These are one. So they run obsolete devices. Manufacturers are not there. The company has collapsed, but the devices are still there working. These are one of the drawbacks or the vulnerabilities I would like to talk about it. So you can update. Secondly, the vendor may be there, but the cost of upgrading is very huge. So some cannot get the money to upgrade their systems. So they remain where they are. And this also becomes risk. So I will encourage the hospitals to be able to make sure that if a vendor is not available, then you need to change the device for vendors which are available.
You're breaking it down. Nature say, machine be wo hono mo a bi a wo use wo eye hospital ho. Na otono well it was available yes. Moon ni upgrade ni bibia was available and na bia na sa company no na wo tonton machines ni ma no e collapse ana wo mu ni hobium inti ne sesia no wa wontimi upgrade because company ni wo ho a bia won be upgrade your system so mu ni ho
they'll bring out the
patches. The patches
we call them the patches
okay inti sesia no e ba ne sa you are advising that you change the devices
yes,
that you
for current ones.
For current ones.
Yes, that you can have support at all times. It can even be doing the upgrade at the background without you knowing.
Yes.
So anytime there's upgrade, it starts to pick it from the vendor's site.
Right.
You understand? So you are always accurately. So hackers may not get chance to infiltrate into it.
Right.
But if it is absolute, they're engine, actual, then you see some vulnerabilities around. I mean, when you check vulnerabilities on the online, you see a lot of devices are vulnerable, but people don't patch. Okay, there's a healthcare in America that a doctor, this inside threat is one of the major issues for hospitals. That somebody working there can work against them. So we tell me that inside threats, issues. It can be a doctor or it can be anybody working in the hospital who can connive with competitors and then be shifting information to them. It can even deal with criminals because you will be getting paid. When money comes into it, it opens so many doors. So people can pay money. And sometimes, attackers will go beyond, looking for people who are hard time in terms of cash. So you go to the hospital, you may see somebody working as a nurse, and it's really hard to get money. His rent is overdue and other, pertinent issues. These people are able to be,
they'll fall victims
victim to do your wish.
Yeah, can't. Because I know what's in here can I see pa Elvis and Tisesiano devices are sebio actually
and yet
what you say dear go we want to hospital part was a bone kind is rusted ninya mena massa
a year dreamer fine but I bet to be we
farmer scrap obi hospital be so trending den ama akoya ka say oh yen you su bio no so akwa no or they call in hospital. Robbing Peter to people. And tina was here
the cost of devices hospital near my bono. Anything they be more still maintain the old devices.
That's hospital so I yakono. Yeah, hospitals here is a national boarding. They should be able because we are talking about people's lives.
Yes.
So they should be able. Sir, who's the hospital? And this ana said you see a run is any store machine.
So I give an example. Recently, I did a total healthcare at the bank hospital. I mean, it was marvelous. The way things were moving, the way the whole system, and you see nurses sitting behind their computers, doctors, and reading your facts because they've already pulled it out from all the sections you've been, and then they ask you questions based on their system. You see, so even the software they use, when a hacker comes in, they can be doing wrong prescriptions for people, and you may term it as errors. because they will play a man in the middle attack. Now you have to give glucose to somebody and then the person change the glucose to another drug. Do you understand me? And
that means say me targeting nipa bi.
Why not? We have targeted attack, which we call the advanced persistent threat.
Inti na say bia pe bibia ye baby. Inti no baby call hospital we ya. You bet me change prescription no. And na sama wo kan
prescription can be changed online. Because you see, we can say we doctor no wo on trade bibia ma or just he's sending details to the pharmacy. Into do pharmacy in the crowd now with details or order that with prescription also on the mount. It imagine that there's a hacker hook into the system. I will play the man in the middle attack or should be a coso. You understand? So if he wants to hurt you, and I say prescription a doctor, the corner will be changing in the course of transit.
Okay. So see, I have a fair solution as to changing the devices.
Yes.
Check. Na intimi baby out on no be a company no go and say we outmoded that. Say devices no. The second one and so no.
Doctors must look at phishing type of attack. We have an attack called phishing, where emails will be coming purporting to be from World Health Organizations and other.
Which is not.
Which is not. During the COVID era, these were some of the attacks that came. Because you see the email will come. Look, I mean, it
looks really legit.
From World Health Organization, trying to send a brochure, a book to hospitals or doctors to be able to read and understand how the COVID works and how they can, work against it.
Right.
And these are fake emails. So immediately a doctor download the attachment, the virus take over.
Mami, bisa question. At what point do you know, even as an individual, at what point do you know, say, a email we, and your papa, and what's me click it, and an email we, and what's me click it?
Sometimes you can see, sometimes too it's clear. Look at the typo errors. Typo errors is one of the things you may see.
Typo errors,
typo errors, yeah, nipane typing errors, spelling way,
mistakes,
These are things you should watch. Secondly, if you know the person who is sending the mailer, I believe you can do a call back with a phone.
Now, okay, so and you'll be an anymore from World Health Organization.
Good, okay, it came and it is a Word document. Most of the what attackers use is the micro type of attack. We call them micro attacks. The micro attack, they embed the payload into the Word document. It will be a pair. You see that there is a yellow button which will come at the top to say the enable macros. When you see enable macros, you should be very careful. Meaning that macros have been attached to the document. And that can be a virus or something. So you have to hold on. Secondly, you need to look at the extensions of the document. If I say extension, every document has an extension. Like Word document, you have the DOX, DOC, DOCX, you have the PDF, you have those things. This shows genuine document. Sometimes they will tell you it's Word document, but then before you look at the extension, it's a screensaver. Or it's pointing to another EXE, which means it's an executable file. But you see it as a what? A Word document. These are the signs. You should be very careful not to click on it. Secondly, are you expecting an email from World Health Organization or any other organization? If not, when such mails come in, look at it twice.
Yeah, Kasei, your normal WhatsApp kura you use before I will be me kura upload the WhatsApp amana ye jumano. I want the contract. A lot of these apps, your contract ni actually agree or not.
You have to agree to the user level.
Minimum you yan kinda. Yan kinda. Buy na agree.
Because and that is where the loophole is.
The loophole is.
Wow. So you can install a software within their user level agreement. They've written there that your hard drive or the C drive will be shared for public use. Because your software, everybody is contributing about it. Into Nima, and you accept that. Now your C drive has been shared publicly without your knowing. Because if you have read about it, you know it, and then you hot in installing that.
Cookies, no. And no, but you don't want it, but it's there.
No. Cookies must be there. I mean, recently that there was a law that cookies, cookies is a type of history. It lies on your machine. It comes with the website. Okay? So the other people who are hosting the website will know you see, they will retain some information about you.
Okay.
Okay. So those cookies will also reside on your machine. Maybe if you go back and you want to come back to that site, instead of routing to the internet, you can have it from the cookies.
Okay.
Which is relying on your machine. So it will be very fast for you. Okay, but it is used to also monitor who came to my site, you understand me, and you are putting some instructions there that accept cookies. There are some sites, if you don't accept cookies, you can't go.
See, and yen individuals no. Sebio hospital there na maka no, we have little to do because hospital there wo akwa kan yare na wanya yaresa inti na wo se okodi no kora wo ho na wo kotwatwra wonya yaresa inti no wo health information there wo do hospital na wo ye bia wo se wo kam no kora because one come kwa wa be kun ho inti na no ye ntimi nya wo hwe. Now we are coming to certain institutions say you say they are getting into a bank, they are getting into law firms and other, because see no say obinya wo information e wo sebio bank nan saying ya tetete onom sa woti onom a wo wunyi sika e wo account mu yes we yisika ntokwa na wo beduru ho na bank be ka che say we hu omo track ya but ontimi nye hwe wo ho madam fo bi eto madam fo bi bibu fuye na me hu ni amenye me ho. It means to say the bank itself no is not protecting themselves enough, because say obi timi be yisika wo memi account mu. The main idea ntia me di misika eba be to bank ne say me pese me ye dem me secure sika no. It ne say obi ntimi amawia me e wo fie na afa obi ntimi awia bank ho wa enupo dia wamba physical wetimi yisika ni na free account anymore. How does that what are the banks not doing?
It's a very dicey situation, you understand me. The bank may put the necessary infrastructure, the types of defense in depth in place, but sometimes the users is the problem. Sometimes we can blame the bank. Okay, one, in this scenario that you gave, the person saw that withdrawal has been made from his account, or they were without not going to the bank. So we can presume one. And then because a bank and say user agreement now kind banks they have it, but you ain't ready. If you are watching internet banking, I've been one of the people, I talk about internet banking, that if you know you can't maintain good posture of security, don't apply for it. But Ubeko bank no, nanko ye the more by force. So then do internet banking. Be a winning penny IQ. What I say? Interview a nipa no koye internet banking wo baby on somebody's PC or on his phone which is already infected. Interview a wo code na the keylogger has captured the code and sent it to the attackers. Introduce betimi atre baby with your keys, to make withdrawals. So sometimes it's the fault of the individuals. But I always tell the bank to educate the individuals. Do deba for your clients. A cybersecurity deba. And tell them the do's and the don'ts.
Breaking no Patrick Katrika Kramami no be intent mase. Young individuals ye internet banking one. Yen sheda nim yesi o yen internet banking obi o hwa ba bi obetena bi machine bi obehu bia no na wo use eno na wo ka say eno to make ofa.
Because woofer machines is here 1 to 20 almost 1 to 18 is infected. People don't know your machine is already infected and you are working with it. Well, because infection but it can be drive on download. You are surfing some site and then the droppers will just be dropping on your machine without your knowing.
Right.
You understand me? Yes. So look, if you bring 20 machines here, I'll tell you 15 will be infected. So you think you are security based on it? No, individuals, we must be very careful. Secondly, the banks, I will tackle them. You understand me? They've put in the infrastructure down. My question is, do they have the socks? When I mean the socks, it's an environment. IT forward, they watch real time what is happening on the network. You understand me? Through packet analysis, doing forensics. You see, they can even do forensics to ascertain who did the how the transaction was done. You understand me? But you ask the bank, maybe the bank is not having enough of IT people who will be dealing deeply into cybersecurity or monitoring the webs, the logs from event viewer if you are running Windows or something. And then if you are running Linux, you should be able to look at your logs and know that what is happening. Okay, so sometimes the two is dicey. The bank will say it is not me. The individual too will say it is not me. So who is it? But most of it happens from the individual point of view. Because bank, they are holding a lot of people's money. So they must make sure security is one of the main backbone. Sometimes they also make mistakes, negligent in forgetting how to patch some systems. Okay, attackers can also go there and hack through the bank. The bank can be hacked easily. I had a presentation at the robbing the bank easier than said. Yeah, and I gave that presentation at the banking college 2015. This is the procedure I'll give you how I can enter into the bank, and then anywhere there is trove of money and information. So it's the bank and the law firm now. I've always advocated about yes.
Yeah, because it's law firms no sabio manso twede obi hu wo attack a wo dey ba as
asana manso twene nkrampo manso twene here another way, but they even hold information for client especially in manso twene. Do you know they even hold escrow accounts for individuals? Yes. So you say a law firm is a very important way, and yes, more apart from legal way, they transact businesses. They stand in for clients. Until they are always having a lot of money in their destiny, in their food and information. If you are a law firm now, let me speak. It's a project I'm doing for law firms. If you're a law firm, you must secure the law firm and secure yourself as a lawyer. Because because if you don't do that, you have problems. Okay. It's easier to hack the law firm.
Okay. Now, and then nkomo na nkasa no me cheat mo ana me cheat mo but e be boa because maka baby kakra because nkomo we ye de a month na edi but me tutu mu bako am we say a hospital me can get affected
everywhere.
Baby abetimi but ne baby na ye gina a hospital be san twen komo no akọ hospital asen ya sorry so ni edi nkomo say hospital die se si ana nkrofo ye ne say information na woni pa ho information wo wiaze o information woni pa ho no na omo akwa akotwe sebi obi timi de blackmail obi because e bia na ne yare e bi wo ne ho a on pese be pia bonten se be bia na adwuma a wo ye ne nti no on pese be pia bonten na ode blackmailing because e pia se be bia e be se na adwuma e bia be se na ware e bia be se nyama e be gu abusua nyama bebre kofo na hu iti no omo ye den evura hospital ho na omo ese nyama hospital nso de untimi kodi tro ho ete se wona wo lawyer be ka cha say kamu no krema me na me ye den me di tro ma wo
no
hospital untimi kotwa tro ho se wuti ya wo ya na akọ hospital na sa wo so yam ya wo ya well e be ma wo ayi aduru a yam yare aduru na me bebo se wo wachi ya wo ya na akọjan sa wo nan ya wo ya be ma na ade betwetwe wo nan eno de inti untimi ndi tro ho. So how to protect our information our hospital and then nekra no komo no baby e different no and no baby e di bejana no se sia no yen individual no we cannot do anything about it because your hospital ye kwa akokan ye no kre na ye nyayaresa inti no meme individual meme baby that I can't do anything about that. It your hospital na said ye say
also protecting
and then send me information a free hospital e kopie e bia ni paboni bi nsemo a the first person I attack is the hospital.
Yes, I'll be coming there. That's why I mentioned about the hyper compliance way baby I bet you say near punishment on between the amount if your hospital is breached and now hackers to rebel. Yes, who will find so bet you. Once you are paying that fines, individuals too are taking you on legally. Into baby na hospital cry ni sike nyina besa. And yes, that is how the system is moving now. Say companies near there, if you don't take cybersecurity serious, your company will collapse because legal liabilities alone will let you run off. Because imagine you have a large client, 5 million people's data has been exposed. like the tracker issue in America. Now, no incident, my hackers advantage was that the IT guy in the company was holding backups in his car, and it was stolen.
How?
Look at it. How can it be? How can you keep backups in your destiny? You see, so these are things that individuals or even the staff. That's what I was saying, that the staff in the hospital must be trained, and then they must be paid well, so that nobody comes from outside to tune their mind, because money is the order of the day. And I always say that has economic, issue like the way we are in,
Conditions,
it
no.
breeds cyber crimes. The condition we are in, the economical conditions, oh my dear, it breeds cyber crimes. And I'm telling you, anybody who has mind into cybersecurity and then how to exploit systems, may divert his way there.
Inti no, say obi ebie hospital. The first measures is here, and you say, besi dining we answer na who put it down certain measures, the cybersecurity no. Fashion with zasa na wo ya wiring.
Yes.
So na we are wiring now, we are plumbing works no. Now we systems no.
Then
So
what are the standard, implementation? What do you need? What softwares do we need? What upgrade are they supposed to be? So in all cutting also, you have to get a good IT team with people with conscious security background to man the systems.
how long must you upgrade your devices
It
as
depends.
a hospital?
Today, an update may come. Tomorrow, there will be another update. Because you see, that's why I say hackers are very important. What they do is that they are always breaching systems to put vendors on their toes. Not for criminality. So you do something today and you patch. Tomorrow, hackers have another way to come into the system. So, you can, within the week, you can patch a lot. So sometimes you put into your configuration that when updates come, download them, but let me install them myself. If you don't take time to, you'll be installing viruses. Okay? So you must always do it from the vendor site. You know that this is the person I bought this thing from. You go to his site. If there's any update, it will show there.
Manager he said what can something concerning edumayefo na your staff no. Because probably yes more year virus no more no year antivirus obeye virus because o antivirus no. Say nti obeye otugu mu a na ube hi antivirus. Say unya virus na oba ko antivirus no. Aha nti won year virus won na year antivirus.
The antivirus use a day because antivirus is mandatory to use it, but antivirus there, it's easy to overrun it. Easy cry. Easy. Because we have viruses here, but a dictating antivirus now and a dictating Windows Defender, it will just push it away and then force itself to be installed.
And I'm making one more bre ya duro no. One more bre ya duro for polio no one of the polio na one for polio na ma wo be dey ato aduro no.
Inti ni America ni say e wo say ye hwe ni ye. Na ransomware na America no very dangerous. And it takes over your computer and it will give you 24 hours or 48 hours to do payment based on what Bitcoin. And imagine if you don't even have a Bitcoin account, then your time will be tickling. Sometimes you can even pay and then the keys will not come.
Hey.
We have some hackers from Israel. They are using a ransomware tool called the Moses staff. With the Moses staff, that they don't demand even money. They cripple the business and that is the end. And we have those demanding money, and if you pay, the keys will come. Sometimes the keys will not come. American police are paying. Universities are paying. Law firms are paying. Hospitals are paying. Banks are paying secretly. So if you don't look at these things, if you don't look deeply into this type of attacks now, things are going to cripple totally.
Yes. Utiri kura yese nia o hake wono kura se man Bitcoin. Na no hake wono mpesga na wo ye ne dey.
So those are people who they are fighting for a cause. They are causing problems. So there's a group called Anonymous. They fight for a cause. When Israel go and attack Palestine right now, they will start attacking Israel. You understand me? Yes. they don't need money, but it's for them to, you know, they are Libra.
Ma one more enche obekwa kwahwe kra no di ekira wo yes ade o 15-year-old o hia sika 2010 do hwe bia buli wa obeso woto you know so who ya least mistake and not upgrade your systems or your devices in the hospital in your institution you are putting yourself at risk, you are putting your clients at risk enye we udi sika wo ye ni na no de ne se wo penti there are other things that are most important in the company as well. It be was cybersecurity. Information ni bibia was when blackmailing because of information or medical information. Omo yare bi omo di omo nim so omo kwa kwaji no eliki na afi etuatua mesi wuti ye se wo bi so opeska na ne o pesika opese wo ye obone de na eno de wo ye ne de number no ne go screen so no Elvis number e go screen so a looming danger that you know we are overlooking detect where security group or more a number and 0503041952 wo hwe me a ebia na wo de anya hospital wo de institution bi wo de bank say see our clients ni na wo mu free wo the other bank because o security in tight ya wo hwa wo beti obi a redro wo sika almost start 5 cedi almost 5 cedi ne be ye pe no mko 15 ni 20 saa no wo chichichi sika no na wo ba oni ade ya yenti ase and credit debit utim twene ho a won tiase you know so 0503041952 you know 0503041952 make sure that your security is tight. Make sure that there are no spaces, loopholes about security, because what is making your company stand is the fact that your privacy and non-for privacy is protected. Inti Elvis Ababa beka edi achiro. Shana want na say institution na institution me de marani ade ya che. The way I will run a company che na yes na technology. Technology must be upgraded. Technology must be improved. And you have to do other things to it. So machines now we use so no a check wa utimu say drew baby a pia monko mpia just say it's time for you to change it. It's time for you to get a new model. It's time for you to forget that manufacturer no we go adwuma na kope nia abey new model no na use so Elvis ya dasi bebre. Maybe your last word and then we can
so in all these things the best security I would say is the human factor.
Okay.
If we're able to train staff okay, to understand who will be safe. Sometimes we are looking for firewalls, intrusion detections on our networks, endpoint security. This also hampered the network itself. I mean, it is good, all right. But the weakest link is a human factor.
Okay. And the crack was say, human factor no, who here. Ebi ono mo sa nyama no protecting your way crema device cry ye week ete say wo yare na de bia tablet bi de bia bedu ba bi na no body age afa de wonom kra ensa sa yare ni biom. So the best thing is to protect yourself in every way possible. O staff no so no twa wo muka because money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Okay.